Can Bitcoin remain parabolic? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Sunday. We're going to take a look at the chart, starting out with Litecoin, moving on to Bitcoin. And then, if you're new here, especially, stick around to the end because we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. And I'm going to show you why I believe Bitcoin could hit 46,000 by the end of the year. And maybe after you watch it, you'll believe the same thing. So definitely stick around for that. Also, I want to remind you guys, at the end of the video, we're going to pick our winner of the free t-shirt. We do that every Sunday. So if you don't win, just leave your comment in the comment section down below. That'll get you entered to win next week. Another thing I want to talk about real quick, guys. I don't want to take too much of your time, but we have a free Discord group. There's a link to that in the description below. Definitely check it out. Great group of people in there. Great community. Helping each other out. Learning how to chart. Keeping up with the news and just a great community. Definitely check it out. I don't believe in the paid groups, guys. You're paying for them groups. Stop. There's so much free information on the internet for you to learn on your own. If you don't want to put in the work to learn on your own, then you probably shouldn't be trading. But yeah, just, all the VIP groups and whatnot that you have to pay for, all you're doing is contributing to their gambling habits and their lifestyles. So just stop, guys. You're getting ripped off. I hate to see it happen to people. So just, really think about what you're doing. Anyways, there's also a few affiliate links down there. There's a Coinbase and an ABRA link down there. If you sign up and you make a deposit, you get some free Bitcoin. Also, there's a Ledger link down there, guys. Keep your crypto safe. Keep it off the exchanges if you're not trading it. Not your keys, not your crypto. And last but not least, there's a Brave browser link down there. Awesome browser, guys. Really fast. Especially if you're charting, it keeps it from lagging and you don't have all the ads popping up and stuff, but you can enable the ads and you get paid in BAT tokens to watch the ads. So definitely check it out if you haven't already, and let's get on with the video. All right, guys, as always, I'm going to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my view and my opinion of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel as we post videos every day. So tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post videos also, so you don't miss out on anything. And guys, all I ask of you is smash those likes and leave your comments. Let me know what you think of the video, and let's see what's going on. So looking at Litecoin in the daily, and I like to start out by showing you guys there's a neckline right here at $94. Goes straight across here. And this looks like a cup and a handle that formed over here, and the measured move off that, which I'm still looking towards, guys, is the 167 area. I've been calling this for months now. I do believe that is where we're headed. But we're going to look at some other targets also, and then when I move down into the smaller time frames, then we'll check out the bearish scenario first, and then move on to the bullish scenario. So stick around. We're going to do the same with Bitcoin. All right. Another thing I was looking at is this could be possibly a bigger cup and handle, which starts at there's a neckline at the $107 range. And if we look at this as a cup and a real small handle right here, this one I'm not as confident in, but it's still definitely a possibility. And that gets us up to the 192 area. That'd be the measured move for that one. And I also have a higher one, and we're going to take a look at that. This line here would be the top of a rising broadening wedge or ascending broadening wedge, and this would be the bottom line here, the line from where we hit bottom, and that's our bottom trend line. And if we did a measured move off that, and I'll show you why I'm doing it from here, that's around the 145 area on this line, but that gets us up to about the $240 range. So that is a definite possibility, guys. We're going to keep an eye on it. And like I said, make sure you subscribe because we do videos every day, so we kind of keep up on what's going on. All right, so I'm going to go into the daily RSI. And another thing, guys, I don't believe in all the indicators and crap. I think that's a bunch of noise, and they just always argue with each other. All I use is the RSI, support and resistance, trend lines, my exponential moving averages, some Fibonacci. It's about all I use, guys. It's just keep it simple, less stress. Anyways, let's look at where we're at on this. So obviously we've been watching this rising channel all the way from November, and we're staying in it. It's obeying the lines pretty good. This is the resistance line up top, support on the bottom. We did have like a little bear trap here, but as you can see in the RSI, it kind of looks like a bull flag forming in the daily. That's why I believe we have another nice move upcoming. So keep an eye on that, and we're going to look at the 4 hour now. All right, if you guys been watching, this won't be confusing to you. If you're new here, it might be, but if you keep watching, you'll get it. So looking at these yellow lines here, this is a support or resistance, and this is a support. Falling channel, we had a falling wedge in here, which we popped out of, come up, came into a falling channel, popped out of, come up, came into another falling channel, popped out, now in another falling channel. And we're about to break back into, if you see these blue lines, we have a rising channel in here. And it looks like it's about to break out of this falling channel. This one right here, the last one, and looks like it wants to pop back in this blue rising channel, which is also, I know it's confusing, guys, but like I said, if you've been watching along, you get it. The falling channel here in the yellow, I see the RSI coming back up to this area, so I definitely see this move up continuing. Let's go into the price action. We're going to take a look at the bearish scenario first, and then we're going to take a look at the bullish scenario. So, and there's kind of a joke about it in the Discord, but guys, I'm still bullish here. So let's see what's going on. All right, so we drew this. We had this top line and this bottom line, the thinner blue line here, as a rising or a ascending broadening wedge, and I still am going to keep that in there, but I did clone this line the other day and brought it down here, and as you can tell, it looks like we're in a rising channel. And I was talking about that 145 area, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But let's look at the bearish scenario first, because we want to be ready for anything, right? So if we were to break down from here and break through this blue line, depending on where we broke through. Now this is the line of the rising channel, but let's say we broke down here, 108 would be the area to watch if we broke through there. I also have this trend line down here, which acted as support quite a bit. We broke through and then came back up, and I believe this would hold as support if we needed it to, but I don't see us going down to there. But that'd be around the $100 range, guys. And if that was to break, you know, then we're looking at, actually, this should be over here somewhere. But then we'd be looking at around the $91 range. And that would be the bottom of this rising broadening wedge. And if that was to break, then we're looking down towards the $62 range, which if you look over here, there was a lot of resistance on that $62 range. So if that was to break, my next worst case scenario would be around the $53 to $54 range, guys. And that's that long-term bottom trend line that I showed you in the beginning. Now let's take a look at the fun part, the bullish scenario. If you guys watched my video yesterday or you're part of the Discord, you know we were watching this. We were watching this bull flag form here, and we broke out. Now, a lot of times when we break out of these bull flags, we'll come back down and test the top of the flag for support and then move on up. But the measured move off that flag, guys, is the, if you look here, I don't measure this from the bottom. I measure this from where it broke out. I don't know if you can see it here, but where it broke out of this, what looked like a bear flag, and then it broke out the top. That's what I use to make my measurement. up to the peak of the flagpole, and then we take that to where we broke out of the flag, and that gets me to the 121 range, guys. That's where I believe Litecoin's headed now. And that's not to say we stop there. You know, we may hit that 121 and may continue up a lot higher. And we'll take a look at that. This I've had on here for quite some time too, this 145 area. And the reason I have that there is this top trend line here and the top of this rising channel meet there. So it's a possibility we could have a huge move up today and come to this 145 range. Now, if that was to break, that was the target I showed you guys, you know, up much higher. But I do still see this 167 area, and I'm going to show you what I think could possibly happen. This is the 167 area, which I've been strongly really pushing that I believe that's coming. But if we're to break past this 145 and head towards that 167, I believe this top line will become support after that, and that'll, you know, we may ride this for a little while and then come up to our next target, 192. And then if we break this top trend line, then we're looking at that, you know, 200 and something target. So, but anyways, we're going to play it by ear, take it easy. First, we're steering for around this 140. Actually, first we're steering around the 121 area and then the 145, and then we're going to look for that 167 area. Again, that's the bullish case scenario, but keep in mind, I did show you the bearish case, so keep an eye on that. But guys, I'm still bullish here. So anyways, that's really about it for Litecoin right now. That's what we're looking at, guys. Let's see. I guess I could. Yeah, that's it. That's it for that. Let's go into Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin. We were watching the same thing here as we had a neckline at the 5650 range, and we were looking at this as a cup and a handle, and we broke it, and our measured move was the $8,300 area, which we hit that target. Now we're moving on to bigger and better things, I believe. So let's see where I'm getting my targets here. So this $9,600 range, we've had this target for quite some time, and that is a measured move off this top line here, right here, and the bottom long-term trend line down here from where we hit bottom over here. And we do the measured move, the width of that, and we bring it up to where we broke out of it. And that gets us up to the 9,600 range. That's still what I'm looking at very strongly, guys. And like I said, possibly go higher, and we're going to take a look at the next targets there. And so we were looking at this as, let me kind of zoom in and see if you guys can see it all right. We were kind of looking at this as a bull flag right here, with this yellow line being the top, and obviously this white line here being the bottom. This being the flag pull of where it broke out right here. And we put that up to where it broke out of this trend line here, which was the top of that bull flag. And that gets us to the 10,600 area. I do see that as possible, guys. If we break through this 9,600 area, this is my next target. And I'm going to also use this same bull flag, or the same flag pull, and measure a breakout of this wedge here, this rising wedge. If we were to break up out of it, and yes, guys, usually a rising wedge is a bearish sign and that you come down, but in a very bullish market, it can still be bullish and break up. So keep that in mind. We will look at the bearish scenario too when we go down to the 4 hour, but as of now, if we are to break up out of this wedge, my target is, like I said, 10.6. If we're going up to the 10.6, I believe we're going to 11.6. So that's where I'm at with that. Let's go into the RSI. We're gonna look at the daily RSI, and if you've been following along, we've been watching this rising channel since the same thing right around November is where this channel started. Top line being resistance, this bottom line was support. We broke it over here, and right when this happened, I cloned this bottom line and set it down to the bottom of here. And as you can see, it acted as support again over here. We broke up, tried to break back in the rising channel and come back down, but this still held as support. Kind of a bear trap. We fell a little below it, but I do see us coming up, testing this line again, and if we break it, that's going to get us our higher targets, guys, and we'll be coming up here. And then our correction that everybody's talking about will come. I don't think, and I'll tell you why in the end of the video, I don't see us going below 6,600 ever again. And again, guys, that's my opinion, but I feel strongly towards that. I don't believe we'll ever see below 6,600. So if you're waiting for the $4,000 Bitcoin or 4,200 that some people are talking about, I believe your ass out, and you know, I feel sorry for you. But anyways, we're gonna look at the 4-hour RSI now and see what that's telling us. All right, this one looks kind of messy, but if you follow along, you'll see what I'm seeing. Same thing, we had this rising channel all the way from November. And again, guys, we're in the 4-hour RSI now. We had this rising wedge within it and broke down, and we came into this rising channel, which we broke out of, kind of like a bear trap here. But we got support just before the bottom of the rising channel. And now we're back in this channel. I still see us continuing up, guys. And we're going to take a look at that in the price action now. Just like in Litecoin, we're going to first take a look at the bearish scenario and then take a look at the bullish scenario. All right, so the bearish scenario. Like I said, these wedges usually are a bearish sign and they break down, but we are in a very bullish market, and I believe we're going to continue up. But looking at this as, let's look at it in the bearish scenario first. And how I would measure the wedge is the widest point of the wedge over here and bring it down to where, say we broke down somewhere in this area. That gets, that's that target, which you're also going to see at the end in the gold daily versus the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly. You're going to see around the same area. But this is the worst case scenario, guys, in my opinion. I do not believe that we're ever going to see below 6,600 again. But if we were to break down here, we also have this line here that could give us support around the $78 to $7,900 range. And if that breaks, then my next support I'd be looking for would be around 7,100, and then obviously, like I said, 6,600, worst case scenario. But the higher we go, if this remains parabolic, the less likely this 66 is, because the trend line I'm measuring that off of, which you'll see here in a little bit, continues up. So yeah, let's look at the bullish scenario now. Excuse me. All right, the bullish scenario, as you can see, we had this bull flag drawn in there yesterday that obviously we've broken out of, and the measured move of that would be measuring the flagpole here to where we broke out. And you can see I have a target of around the 8,800 to 8,850 range, which would also, if you remember, see this thinner line here. Whoops, sorry. See this thinner line here. We were watching this one first as the rising wedge, and then when we broke out of that, we made a new line down here. We have, you know, 2 touches of support. So the darker line is the new one. This is the older one, but I still think that could act as resistance, and if it does, then we could come back down here. But if we break through, you know, we could begin another parabolic rise. So on the bullish side, like I said, we're watching this now. I'm watching this area. We're probably going to feel some resistance there, but I do believe we can continue up from there. If not, we may get some sideways action, come over, touch the bottom of this wedge again, and then continue up. But that's the area we're watching now. Let me go into the hourly and look at what I think is happening here. If we zoom in, and guys, these charting techniques I use work in all time frames. So as you can see, I have another bull flag drawn here, which looks like it's going to be a, you know, another triangle. So looks like it's working out pretty well so far. And if we take the measured move of that flagpole from where we broke out down here, and we bring it up to where we're going to break out here, if this stays flat on the top, obviously, I'm going to go ahead and put another target in there. And the target for that one would be around the, right around the 8,900 range, somewhere in there. And if we break up there, guys, we may get a wick down, or we begin to use this as support again. And if that happens, obviously, you know, it's going to become pretty bullish. So keep an eye on that area. If we break this 88 and we go up to 89 and it's not just a wick, then we're probably going to be using this line here as support and go up to our higher targets. Go back into the 4 hour. All right, back into the 4 hour. So like I said, I still see, I'm still bullish here. I believe we're going to continue up, and at least to this 9,600. I still stand strongly behind that. And if we break that, obviously, then we go to our 10.6 and 11.6, and who knows from there. But let's look at the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. You guys can see the resemblance here. It's amazing. And if you look at this yellow line up here where gold topped out, again, this is gold over 20 years. This is Bitcoin over 2. Bitcoin's way faster, guys, way smaller market, easier to move. Institutional money's not quite in yet. I think they might be getting their feet wet. But I do want to point out, in this chart right here, right in 2003, the gold ETF was approved, and you can see what happened. I know a lot of people say the ETF isn't going to affect Bitcoin that much or whatever, but you see what it did to gold. You make your own decision on that. Also, I can't stress this enough. I think a lot of people got scammed and a lot of people got screwed listening to the hyperwave bullcrap theory. You know, this looks an awful lot like Bitcoin right here, obviously. And that would have been, you know, same thing, hyperwave, which I do not believe in at all. I think that's crap. I think it's clickbait. I think a lot of people got screwed. I think a lot of people got held back from buying the bottom because they were waiting on ridiculous lows. And the funny thing is, the people that were calling that charge for their stupid courses, and they charge Bitcoin. They were charging Bitcoin at 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, still charging Bitcoin. Why would they been charging Bitcoin if they knew the prices, or they thought so strongly the prices were really going to go to 1,000? Wouldn't they have just charged cash and then bought Bitcoin at the bottom of 1,000? I don't know, just my opinion. But anyways, yeah, so looking at, well, let's take a look at this too. As you can see, this is the bottom trend line of gold. And if gold was a hyperwave, it would have went down to $50. That never happened because hyperwave's bullcrap. But anyways, you can see it did 2 touches on this bottom trend line before this, you know, obviously happened. And I'm a strong believer in show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. And like I said, right in here, the Bitcoin ETF was approved. Or, I'm sorry, the gold ETF was approved. If you look at where we're at now, I believe we're waiting on some huge news. Could it be the ETF? Definitely possible. If not, something else. Something's coming, guys. Something's coming. I've been saying that for a long time now, for months, since January when I started talking about this chart. So, anyways, as you can see, the same. This is why I have the 46,000 target, by the way, by the end of the year. Because if we look. So, and we could go a lot higher, guys, but I am calling for 46,000 by the end of the year. That's my call. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to admit it. And I'm not telling everybody to buy right now and wait for 46, because I'm not going to do the opposite as the hyperwave theory shit. Do your own research. You know, that's, I stress doing your own research and learning how to chart. It's not that hard if you put in the time. And if you can't put in the time to learn, you probably shouldn't be trading. So, anyways, as you can see, same thing, just like gold, we had 2 touches on the bottom, continuing up from here. Now in the gold chart, I believe, like I said, I believe we're right in this area right here. So coming back over here, I know people are calling for this $4,200 correction and whatnot. And I'd love to, if you really believe that, I go ahead and offer me a bet. I'll take bets on it because I think it's bullshit, and I do not believe that we're gonna go below this trend line again. I think this is gonna be a huge area of support. And like I said, the longer we go, the higher this line gets. And right now, if we were to go straight down today, that's around the 6,600 range, guys. And this big correction that everybody's been saying we needed to get since what? I think they started saying it around 4,000, that, you know, there's a huge correction coming. Well, 4,000 is way down here, guys. No big correction yet. And I know that a lot of them are calling for the 4,200 or whatever, saying we need a 30 to 50% correction, whatnot. Well, let's take a look. If we were to correct right now from where we're at, for where our high was, right here around the 9,100 range, we were to correct from there and touch this trend line, that would be a 27% correction. Pretty decent correction, guys. Now, if we're to go up to the 9,600 that I'm really believing we're going to hit up to, that would, and then come back down to the 6,600, that'd be about a 31% correction. We go up to the 10.6, that would be a 38% correction. If we go up to my next target, the 11.6, that would be a 43% correction. I believe if we get up to 11.6, we're never going to see the 7.6 again. Even if we get up to 10.6, I don't believe we're going to see that 6.6 again. That's the best case scenario for those waiting for lower buys, guys, is at 6,600. I strongly believe that this thing is, we're going to get some news soon, man. That's all I got to say about it. Now let's look at the RSI. I find this really interesting. I've pointed it out in a lot of videos before. As you can see, this is the bull market from 2013, followed by the bear market. This is the 2017 bull market, followed by the bear market. And I drew these trend lines in here, and it's almost the exact same angle, guys. But as you can see, we got 2 points of resistance on this trend line and broke through, and our bull run began. Same thing here. 2 points of resistance and broke through, and our bull run began. And now I want to show real quick, I'm going to zoom in and show you. Obviously, you know, this looks like huge corrections here in the RSI on the weekly. But if we go into the, look at the charts, go on the log scale, I'm going to zoom in there kind of a little bit and see what that looked like on the charts. So as you can see, these corrections here were not that huge considering where we came from. Each time you look at a peak up here, not that big of a deal, guys. Nothing to fear. I strongly believe we're definitely in our bull market. So let's look at the monthly. I'm going to show you another thing I've been looking at. And like I said, we've been looking at this since January on this channel. So, all right, same thing. 2013 bull run followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a low in the RSI. We had 4 of them before continuing up. You can see the arcs I have drawn here. Same thing, 2017 bull market followed by 2018 bear market. Each arrow represents the low in the RSI, 4 of them, and then now we're moving up. Now the difference here is, guys, I believe this arc on this side is going to be more like this. So that's where I'm at with that. And let's move on to the free t-shirt. All right, so we are going to use, what video from last week got the most views? We're going to use this one here. Copy the link address, move it over to the random comment picker. Paste it in here, load comments, and see what we got. Pick a winner. David Gelfand. Get a hold of me get in the Discord or on YouTube. I also have my email down in the description below, but get a hold of me and we'll see which t-shirt you want. We'll get it sent out to you. So yeah, I guess with that being said, anybody who hasn't subscribed yet, all you gotta do is click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed if you like the content. And then just tick the notification bell. That'll get you notified when I post new videos. Smash the likes, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.